It was Jacob's 9th birthday, and he couldn't wait to get home from school. Jacob had been thinking about his birthday for a while, and he was excited about what the evening would hold. When Jacob got home from school, he could smell birthday cake baking. It was chocolate, his favorite. Jacob got excited as he watched his mom finish the icing. But Jacob's jaw dropped open when he saw his mom give the cake to the UPS driver, who put it in his truck and drove away. Jacob then stood on his porch and watched as the driver delivered a bunch of presents, all to people who did not have a birthday, and none to him. Jacob's grandparents came to town, but they went and stayed at a neighbor's house. Never did visit him. Nobody said even a single word to Jacob about his birthday. Finally, about 9 o'clock that night, he couldn't take it anymore. Jacob borrowed his older sister's megaphone. He jumped on his bike and rode up and down the streets shouting, "Whose birthday is it anyway?" The night was so silent that Jacob's cry echoed off the hills in the darkness. Whose birthday is it anyway? Perhaps on some level, that cry needs to echo off the walls of this chapel tonight. Whose birthday is it anyway? Given the fact that last Christmas, every adult in the United States averaged spending $830 a person. Given the fact that on the day after Thanksgiving this year and the past several years, that day called Black Friday, some people actually died in an attempt to be the first one into a store to buy a gift for themselves or for someone else. Given that, perhaps the question stands, and an important question at that. Whose birthday is it anyway? It seems to me that in many ways we've managed to edge Jesus out of his own birthday. We profess allegiance to Jesus, but we celebrate his birthday with a glut of materialism. My mom used to celebrate her birthday the day after Christmas, December 26th. She complained about it all the time. And right now, this Christmas, I can imagine her up in heaven saying to someone, "You know, I hate having my birthday around Christmas." And Jesus managing to overhear it and responding, "Yeah, tell me about it." We know it is his birthday, but we get so swept up in this current that we don't even notice. He becomes more of an afterthought to the rest. I don't say this tonight to shame any of us who are here for anything we've done or bought or been about these days. I say it rather in the hopes that it might free us up some. And I say it for the sake of the kids who are here tonight. I don't want to rain on this parade for them at all. But I do want them to know what's possible for this feast. Because I really believe with all my heart this may perhaps help with some of that emptiness some of us feel at Christmas. Because we've somehow managed to make one more thing about us. And of all things, this one isn't. If we think it is our birthday, we can too easily get our feelings hurt. Our feelings hurt because we think we didn't get enough attention this year, or not enough was spent on us. For when I realize that it's not my birthday, it's his, then the focus moves to him, and something changes in me. There's some relief in this from some sort of emptiness or that anxiety that so many of us suffer. And maybe even some peace. And maybe even joy. Joy even. When I see the students doing what they do year after year, it stands out for me more than ever. When Christmas comes during these imperfect seasons in our lives, which it is for many of us this year, when the losses and the missing of someone are keenly felt, again as it is for so many of us this year, and we just don't feel like celebrating much, remember, it's not your birthday. It's his. And by celebrating Christmas, we're celebrating someone else who suffered, and who suffered much. It's not too late to let this be about his birthday. Christmas lasts for 2 weeks, not 1 day for us. That gives us ample opportunity to make it more about him this time. So think about it with me for a little bit. What might it mean this Christmas to make it his birthday and not mine? Well, I suspect essentially it would be to do for him what we would do for anyone we love if we were to celebrate their birthday. We'd share a meal with them. We try to, at least. And that, my friends, is exactly what we are doing right here, right now, tonight, in this chapel. 2,000 years ago, on the night before he died, he sat down with his friends around some unleavened bread and a little cup of wine. And he said to them, "Do this to remember me." And this is one aspect we're getting right tonight. And it's not a small thing. In the midst of the craziness that fills these days, you are here. You have made time tonight to celebrate a meal with him on his birthday. And you're not alone in doing this. Look around you. You're not alone. This is awesome. Also, you perhaps, if you were to spend some time with a friend on his or her birthday, you'd spend some time, I bet, that day thinking about, savoring the life of this person you love, what he or she means to you, maybe even recommitting some to that particular friendship. Maybe one of the ways to do that would be to spend some time tonight before you go to bed a moment maybe, just a moment, at the nativity set in your homes, thinking some about this Jesus. What did he teach? What did he live for? What mattered most to him? And yes, oftentimes, we give gifts to those we love on their birthday. And if we were to shift the focus to this Jesus, what gift might we give him? What would be on Jesus' wish list? And I'd propose to you, there's just one thing. There's just one thing he wants from each of us. It's his deepest desire. And because he did not come simply once 2,000 years ago, because he lives right now in the people right around each of us, I have no doubt but that his greatest wish would be that we see and treat each other with a certain respect and reverence. Everyone, especially the least, even the enemy, and most especially those who are suffering. He was so clear. When you love each other, you are loving me, he said. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me a cup of water. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. When you did it to anyone, you did it to me. Some kids sometimes at Christmas sing Happy Birthday, Jesus. That can be so cute and so fun. But to Jesus, any celebration of Jesus has to show up in how we treat and love the people around us. Please let me say it again. Any celebration of him has to show up in how we treat and love the people around us. He lives in them now. He lives in that person in need. He lives in that family member right there in front of us. Christ's wish list would be very short and very brief. It really comes down to love each other. Treat all human life, every human being, and this good earth with respect and with reverence. When I see the students traipsing off to Belize for their Christmas break now, their hard-earned winter break after a long semester, but go in there to serve the poor, to build a library in a small Mayan village hours from the city. When I see them trek out to Joplin to rebuild homes for people who are still homeless there over their hard-won fall break. When I see the ways they take care of one another when they get depressed, I think to myself, that's it. That's it, right there. This is what it means to celebrate his birthday. His. Regardless of the schedule of events these next few days, No matter the gifts I receive or I give, whether things are chaotic or calm, how will I love him? How will I love him in the people right in front of me, in whom he has made a home? Nothing matters more to him. And after all, whose birthday is it anyway?